Let me take you on a quick tour of my backyard here and show you what I have going on. This is my Mayor lemon here. Lemons are starting to ripen now. I have a Tikal Sapodilla, my Bradenton Loquat, which recently was able to take the shade cloth off of it. Had it under 80% shade here in our desert scorching sun that we get. We were about 105 up until about a week ago, and now it's finally started to cool down here. We've been getting a lot of rain too the last couple days, which is rare for us. We've gotten about 1.5 inches over the last 2 days, so everything's kind of wet now. Some mini roses, citronella, aloe in here. I've been doing a little bit more of the ground cover kind of stuff here just for look. Blackberries here, and if you can kind of see tucked in there, I had a seedling sugar apple that's growing in this mess here, as well as a seedling mango, so I might try to dig those up and move them somewhere else, but as for now they're looking really good growing here in the blackberries. This is a Rosboro blackberry, which is a thorny variety, but this one just does great here in the Phoenix area. I also had a black satin blackberry that was just struggling, so I just kind of gave up on it. Misty blueberries here. And these are looking really good. Blueberries are a challenge here in the desert, as you might think. Getting the soil just right is key for growing these here, and then giving them the proper microclimate. This is my Subel white Sapote, which has been a super slow growing tree here. I've had this for a couple years now and it hasn't really grown much at all, but it is looking really green and healthy. I have my cherry plum here, Sprite Delight cherry plum. This is my Cara navel orange here. Back behind that is early Grande peach tree, which is getting very large, and I prune this guy a couple times a year. I'm trying to keep it around, 10 feet tall. Right now it's probably about 12 or more, so I'll prune this back here in the winter. I want to keep it kind of a manageable size here to harvest all the fruit. My Black Mission fig here growing in a container. Leaves are starting to get a little crispy, getting ready for winter to drop its leaves. It does have some figs still on it, but I don't know if they'll ripen in time or not. Here is one of my African Pride Adamoyas grown from seed, which this one's in the ground here. I have one in a container I'll show you as well. Back behind that is my Sherwood Jujube, and this guy is huge. Also, I've been trying to prune it to keep it smaller, but it just wants to grow large. And it's only a couple years old, 1.5 years old, so these things grow just rapidly here in the heat. Now, let me see if I can show you a couple jujubes that are left on it. I don't know if you can see that, but there's one right there hanging on still. There's a few left on it. My Parfianca pomegranate here. And I have a couple pomegranates on it. I tried one, but it was a little too early. But it looks like they're getting pretty close. My raised beds here. I just started planting for winter here about a week ago. See a lot of stuff popping up now with this rain and stuff. I have kale beets, fava beans, spinach, carrots, so that kind of stuff. My Jamaican cherry tree here in a container. Here is my dwarf Everbearing mulberry tree. Kind of blowing over there from the wind we had and the storms. I'll prune this guy back a little bit too in the winter when it loses its leaves. My Peruvian white guava tree here. This is my favorite tasting guava. It's really excellent white guava here. And then next to it I have an Indonesian seedless guava in a container, which I'm thinking about putting in the ground this weekend. Ida Maraca mango tree. This is also grown from seed. And then on the ground here I have Roselle, marigolds, lemongrass, which I just cut back a lot, as you can see all over the ground here. This thing was just huge. Back behind it is a kit mango. See kind of the different growth habit on this one. It's more scraggly looking, but I had 5 mangoes on that this year that were really good. More Roselle growing all over the place. Basil that just grows like a weed. Don't really even water this or anything. It just kind of spreads all over. And then behind that is my Gary mango. This is my sugar apple here in a container, grown from seed, about 1.5 years old. Back behind that is my Tainung papaya tree, which I just harvested a papaya, and there are a few more up there that are just starting. This is my other Adamoya here in a container, grown from seed. My Silas Woods Sapote tree. My Carrie mango, which I had 5 carries off of this. Really tasty mango. This is my Soursop that I've also grown from seed, a couple years old and getting quite large. My Barbie pink guava here that I keep in a container. See down there my little red Jabba de Caba. This is one thing I started this year. The little small starter plant I got. This guy's a really slow grower. And then a Canistil or yellow Sapote I'm growing from seed that I started a few months back. And lastly, my Barbados cherry tree, grown in a container, kind of growing all over the place here again with the winds and stuff. I'm gonna have to prune this thing back a little bit too. Alright, thanks for watching. Check out gardenofluma.com for more tips on growing in hot, dry climates. Thanks.